So except for that brief diversion with the Halloween decorations last week, which are still in the game for a few more days, be sure to check them out if you haven't seen them. We have been plugging away and making great progress on Slough Creek, the next episode of WolfQuest Anniversary Edition, in which you'll establish a territory and have pups. Earlier this month, our lead developer Tommi spent 2 weeks playing through the Slough Creek quests over and over again, tweaking and fixing and tuning everything to get it in shape. And then George took over to do the first round of playtesting, and he played it over and over again and helped us balance some things with territory and affinity and pup raising. And then we decided it was ready for some fresh eyes. So we brought in a few of our longtime beta testers. One of them's been beta testing since WolfQuest 2.7, which was 5 years ago. Now, it's always exciting and a little terrifying to reach this point where you are sharing this thing that you've worked on for a long time with people who haven't played it before. Fortunately, they liked it. And after some intensive testing over the past week, it does look like the overall gameplay and the quests and the pups and everything is generally working pretty well. Of course, lots of ideas for tweaks and improvements, along with some bugs, some very common bugs, some really weird bugs that need fixing. So for example, they noticed that the mate tends to be a little overeager about feeding the pups. Here she comes up and basically regurgitate everything she's got, even if the pups are pretty much full. If I've been feeding them and kept them full, she'll still come in and regurgitate it all. So that needs some tweaking. Tommi just fixed that, actually. So she'll pay attention to their hunger level before deciding how much to regurgitate. A lot of other things, it was harder than expected to get your pack affinity high, which is important because that's what determines if the pups will stay in the den, or how long they'll stay in the den, or when you're out hunting or maintaining your territory. And a lot of other things. But overall, we're pretty happy with the state of the game right now. We still have plenty of things to do. All the bugs and tweak that these beta testers have been flagging, some stuff that just hasn't been done yet, like we've got a bunch of new music that we need to incorporate when the predators are attacking or you're just hanging out of the den with your pups, things like that, as well as some smaller features. So still quite a bit of work to do, but we do feel like it's really, after all this time, it's really coming together. But we are still not announcing a release date. Why is that? Well, every game is unique and presents unique challenges, not just in the beginning when you're designing it, but every step of the way through development. And so, if you're going to make a cake and you've got a good recipe, you go into the kitchen and you can make a pretty good prediction of when that cake is going to be ready to eat. But if you're making up the recipe as you go for a new kind of cake that nobody's made before, then it takes longer. You try something like, ooh, that doesn't taste so good, and so you tweak it and you try again. It's an iterative process, and in the end, you could write a recipe that somebody could make a cake, in an hour or so. But when you're creating that cake for the very first time, every step of the way, there's unknowns, and it's just hard to predict. Now, of course, most games do set a release date, and that is because, that is the normal thing to do, but really it's because somebody has given them money. They've got a publisher or a funder of some kind or a Kickstarter, and the people backing the game want to know when the game will be done. They want to make sure that it will be done, and they will be able to get a return on their investment. We are fortunate in that we don't have anybody like that who we are financially responsible to. We are responsible to you all, our current and future players, and we're responsible to our team to be a good place to work. And in the way that, in most cases, when a game does set a release date, as that date approaches, whether it's a month out or 3 months out or sometimes 6 months or more out, they go into crunch mode, which means that everybody starts working more and more. They're working 12-hour days, maybe 16-hour days. They're working 6 days a week, maybe 7 days a week. And that's crazy. That's just unhealthy. That's just wrong. And we don't want to do that. And again, we're in the fortunate position where we don't have to inflict that ourselves and our team. So every day we're working on it. We're making progress. It's really shaping up. It's coming together. But still, I can't say when. There are challenges still that we haven't hit and managed to solve yet. So it's coming, and we appreciate everybody's patience until it's here.